Greetings all, this is Dickie Adams with PocketNow.com, and today we're taking a closer look at the hardware of the Nexus S 4G from Sprint. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. As we mentioned in the unboxing video, the Google Nexus S 4G from Sprint is a Google-specific phone. It is running a 1 gigahertz Hummingbird processor. It has 16 gigs of internal memory. There is no micro SD slot. Size and weight is pretty light. It does have a curved screen, and again, it's really hard to see here, but it curves on either end here, and when you lay it flat on a table, it lifts the edge up just a little bit across here, keeping the screen from actually touching the ground. On the back, it's got another little bump here. Purely for aesthetic purposes, although it does provide a little bit of a gripping point. The back piece here, this back plate, is very fingerprint prone. As you can see already, I just cleaned this and it's already picking up fingerprints, and it's very, very slippery. I hope that they get some options to replace this with a matte back. I'm not a big fan of this particular back here. On the sides, we've got a power button. And I really like the power on and then power off little fade effect. That's really kind of fun. Not terribly useful. Volume rocker on this side. Other than that, no other buttons. On the bottom, it's got the micro USB slot, the microphone hole, and the headphone jack. Headphone volume is outstanding as expected. I appreciate that they moved these two ports to the bottom of the device because on my Sprint Epic 4G they're on the top, which makes cabling a little bit funky to manage. Also on the front is the 3 megapixel or 0.3, pardon me, megapixel VGA camera for front-facing camera capabilities. The speaker for the headset itself, not the speaker phone. There is the light sensor and the proximity sensor as well here. No LEDs on the front of this as far as indication lights for charging or for messaging or anything like that. A bit of a disappointment there. Down here at the bottom, the touch-sensitive standard Android buttons here are bright in this particular view, but when compared against my Sprint Epic 4G, they are really, really dark. I'll show you that here. Brightness comparison there. It's pretty obvious that the Nexus S 4G is considerably darker in that case. Volume from here is plenty loud. No complaints there. No complaints about the audio quality when I've been in calls, which I appreciate. On the back, the speakerphone seems to be quieter than my Sprint Epic 4G, but other than that, it does a decent job of volumes there. Back camera and the flash. Back camera does a pretty good job, and what a lot of people are reporting, and what I'll be testing as well, is that even though the back camera has 720p recording capabilities, the Google software does not have that functionality. I'll be testing that, and we'll be posting that in the full review, let you know how that really works. Popping off the back cover here, if I get it from the right side, you'll notice inside here is a couple of little contacts, and then the near-field chip is hiding inside of here. I haven't had a chance to find anything yet that uses near field. Hopefully something soon before I finish the review. We'll see about that when we get there. Other than that, it's just standard black plastic. Speakerphone, your contacts for the near field chip. The battery, as we mentioned in the unboxing, is a 1500 milliamp hour battery, and the battery life has actually been pretty decent, getting in with an hour and a half of phone calls and some navigation and web browsing and the display on and little Google Music app, ranking in there about 12 hours, more if I'm using more of the display, but so far I've been pretty pleased with the results there. Otherwise, interior, not a whole lot to see. There are a couple of extra data ports here. that are unused from a day-to-day point of view. It's pretty standard and straightforward. This is essentially, when it comes down to it, the same Google Nexus S, but with a WiMAX antenna. And looking at the WiMAX functionality and the data capabilities, it's been so-so, and unfortunately I haven't found really good zones with 4G for Sprint anyway, which is really a pain when they charge you an extra $10 a month. We'll come back to that once this finishes booting up. As we talked about before, the screen is brilliant, although it is a little hard to see from here, and once this finishes booting up, we'll take a closer look at this. But as you tilt the phone away from you, there is a little bit of color change here. Not too terribly much. It's definitely bright and brilliant, and in sunlight it looks fantastic on auto display, which I appreciate very much. Let's go take a look at those speed tests before it gets a chance to try again. So as far as results go, I've been getting anywhere from like 1700 down. I had a 2300 down at one point using the 4G service. The 3G service is the 400s you see here. This 71 and 76 was actually with the 4G on, but I wasn't getting good service. So you can see we did plenty of speed tests here, and it's just been average results, but it's pretty typical compared side by side with the Epic. It's been about the same speeds, running the speed test at exactly the same time. Comparing the screen brightness side by side between the two, my Epic 4G and the Nexus S 4G, you can see that the Epic over here has a slightly more blue screen. It is a little less bright. This is on full brightness on both devices. And the black contrast on the Nexus 4G is much better. The Nexus 4G though does have it's hard to see in this video, a yellow color cast to it. Side by side, as you can see here, the Epic 4G and the Nexus S 4G, both from Sprint. There is a considerable size difference, and as we mentioned in the unboxing video, the Nexus S4G is about the same size as the keyboard here. You can actually stack two of them on top of each other and end up with one Epic 4G device. So the form factor is really nice in the pocket. Look from the bottom, it's about the same there, and then also from the top, lengthwise, it's about the same as well. One thing the Sprint marketing talks about on its site is the anti-fingerprint coating on the front of the display, and I have to tell you that this device picks up fingerprints just about as easily as every other device that I've owned, including the iPad. It does make wiping off the screen is really easy, but as soon as you touch it, it's going to get another fingerprint on it. So I'm not sure where they were going with that, and I mentioned on the back it's just as fingerprint prone as the front. That wraps up the hardware portion of our video review. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.